Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. This is Witty Bindra from PanIIT USA, and today we have Ramesh, Maini joining us from Houston, Texas for an exclusive interview, which is part of the PanIIT USA virtual webinar series. Welcome, Ramesh.
Thank you.
So PanIIT is an umbrella organization representing an alumni network of most recognizable symbol of India's intellectual excellence, achievement, and leadership, the IIT system. The IIT alumni around the world have created sustained value for organizations and communities with their thought leadership, business acumen, and sense of social responsibility, all of which are the principles of the IIT brand of education. So telling about Ramesh, Ramesh has served as the president and CEO since Zentech inceptions more than 40 years ago and is one of the founding partners. As president, he has managed a staff of 160 highly skilled engineers and designers in its 7 offices around the world. Zentech has worked on NASA projects as well as US Navy and US Air Force projects. Ramesh has substantial experience in the design, construction supervision, and rig moves of jack-up drilling rigs. He was the principal architect in the design and construction of the jack-up rigs for one of the Norwegian drilling contractor, which in 1977 were the largest jack-up capable of operating in the North Sea. Before Zentech, Ramesh was the president CEO of PanIIT Engineering, a Houston-based company that designed and built jack-up drilling rigs in 1980s. He is a distinguished alumni of IIT Bombay and also has a MS in structural engineering from the University of British Columbia. Once again, thank you, Ramesh, for joining us.
Not at all, it's a pleasure.
Thank you. So, Ramesh, let's start. Please share with us your journey from IIT Bombay to present date. In what ways did your time at IIT Bombay prepare you for the leadership roles? And how has the broader IIT network helped you in your career?
So I was the first year of IITs when they start taking students from higher secondary school. A lot of the kids before used to come already from university with the BSc, and I was fortunate enough to be able to join IIT Bombay from being the higher secondary student. Looking around, there are so many brilliant students IIT brings into the fold, and the faculty also is brilliant. Just to be surrounded by some of these brilliant people gives you a whole lot of values that, your diligence in work, in studies, your responsibilities to be on time. And I don't know if you all had that, but the year I was in IIT, we had a rule that if you flunked the first year, you were thrown out of the university. And so you become very, very serious. And your seniors rag you every day. You dummies are going to be thrown out. You are no good. And so, it brings something the best in you. And you've seen, you all are just as brilliant as you know how it is with all the IITians. It's how our education system in India in general, but IIT even more so, brings the best out of us, and then we do better in life. You all have seen any number of IITians who are out around the industry, how well they're doing because of that. So I give my all the credit to IIT for what I am, what little I am.
Thank you, Ramesh. So the people will like to know where you were born and brought up, and then finally, when did you come to the US?
So I was born in a city called Ludhiana in Punjab. I, believe it or not, my first many years in school, from the 5th grade till higher secondary, I was very, very busy in singing in the schools. I would spend almost 4 or 5 hours a day singing because we were representing our school in various competitions, various functions. Uh, Indira Gandhi came to Ludhiana. We sat in her feet and sang songs, and I was one of the team players. I was actually the lowest of the rung, but all the same, I enjoyed. Out of a school of 5,000 students, we were 11 who were in the singing school. So I enjoyed my school days, but somewhere in the last year of my studies in higher secondary, I left everything and became serious in studying. And I appeared for the IIT exam because somebody told me about it. And then, luckily, like I said before, I got to join IIT Bombay. And that's my early career. But yeah, I'm not sure if you're asking me for after that, and I can answer those too.
Yeah. So which year you came to the US? I'm just curious.
So, unluckily, the year we were all graduating, although I had made a commitment with the university to stay in for another year or two or more. But somehow, like everybody else, I decided to also apply. I did get admission in Berkeley, but there were no scholarship those days, first semester, and I couldn't afford to go to Berkeley because of that. I applied in UBC in Vancouver, and they gave me scholarship. So I went to Vancouver in 1967 itself. I went to Vancouver.
Excellent. That's fantastic. So, no, thank you. So, what's the one thing you love about being a CEO? And what's the one thing that people don't realize is extremely hard about being a CEO?
So I don't know about all the CEOs, but I can only talk about myself. Um, you know, the good thing about being a CEO is that I've been very fortunate, and maybe it's been part of something that I've been brought up with. I surrounded myself with lots of very brilliant people who are not only very smart, but they work well together. They don't mind sharing knowledge with each other or even with other people. But there's no agenda. And I've also made sure that in management, we don't have an agenda to put down people. We give them complete freedom to go out and do whatever is right. They deal with the clients directly. We know indirectly what's going on. But surrounded by these very, very good people who've been with me now for 25, 30 years, some of them even longer, uh, and it just makes life very beautiful. And because of that, our clients are very happy with what we produce. And, uh, you know, I don't think the engineering companies get as kind of the kind of accolades we get from our clients, which is very, very interesting, very good for the soul, if you will, when your client is happy with what you do. But we have never held our clients hostage, and we work very hard to make sure, irrespective of whether we're making money or losing money, we have tried to fulfill our commitment to the best and try to do the fastest way possible. Doesn't matter whether we're going to get a second job from that client or not. So that that brings us whole lot of pleasure of being in my position, and I've enjoyed it thoroughly every day. In fact, I tell people going to work for me is going to the temple or church or mosque or whatever is the way. I go to my temple every morning because that's where I enjoy the most. But things about CEO, at least for me, like I said, letting somebody go, or when somebody knocks at my door and say, I really need to talk to you, he's probably quitting. And those are the moments that are very difficult for me. I have tried to bring people who I believe fit very well in our mold, and they make us strong. But when we lose somebody or we have to let somebody go, it's very hard. So you're asking me a question about what the difficult part for me. It is that parting company with people is the most difficult part.
No, I really appreciate one thing that I have personally seen when people are struggling in the job market because of various reasons. And one company which comes to our mind in Houston is, hey, have you spoken with Ramesh Zentech? because they will help you out. They will try to get the right people in. So I think you have done a great job in recruiting people and not allowing them to go, whatever may be the reason. They are still there, and there's no headcount has not gone down because of any circumstances or environment.
Witty, we're very, very fortunate, especially I again give that credit to IIT for being where we are. Personally, my life is all set. You know how old I am. I could easily have left the company, but it's the fun that I have working with people, and my brain still works very well. That I can enjoy being with people and with my clients, and that is the most beautiful thing. And we are very fortunate as IITians because we got that background to really do the good things and just continue enjoying good life, not for themselves but for others around you.
Yeah. And one thing, you make all of us feel proud. Thank you very much, Ramesh. You're doing a great job. God bless you. Uh, so the next one, as a CEO, you have built and led teams and successfully solved large technology challenges in complex cross-border business environments. So as you reflect, what do you think is the most important skill required to be successful in your role? And who was your inspiration, if I may ask?
Well, I think any business, when a businessman start believing he is the most important person, is a mistake. Uh, in today's world, especially, and I think it's even probably in the past, if you are fortunate to bring really good people with you and form a team that is well connected together, and you care for them and they care for the company they're with, because the success of companies, the people that are in the company. And I have, knowingly or unknowingly, I have really tried to work towards that. People who fit together very well. But I look for only very smart people. I have no care what religion they come from, what country they come from, what color they have, how pretty or good looking or not so good looking they are. I care for only one thing, that they are smart and they work well together with everybody else. And when you have a good team like that one, business is it's easier to have fun. Whether I am no Rockefeller and I'm no Bill Gates, but I tell people in my own rights I'm Bill Gates because I'm having fun in what I'm doing. Okay, so surrounding yourself with good people is honestly the best way that you can have fun in whatever you're doing. We're a professional organization. If money is the only motive, then maybe gambling or something else might be fun. But as a professional, as engineers as we are, to be surrounded by people who love doing innovative things. We've done lots of different things, only because the people that I have in the company, not because I'm the smartest. In fact, I'm probably the lowest end of everybody in the company. But having the right people makes it beautiful to be in business. My how you said who's my role model, if you will. I have been very blessed to have known lots of very good people, and they have all been instrumental in me doing what little I do in life. I couldn't name you a few. Of course, some members are members of my family. My aunt lost her husband only a year after she was married, and my mother, who was the oldest daughter-in-law in the family, took care of our aunt. And she had spent all her life in religion, but she was so smart, so wonderful a lady. Even her daughter, who actually taught me to go to IIT exams for 2 months, and I became IITians because of that. Those people have given me so much love that I couldn't tell you how they influenced me. And I had an uncle who was blind, yet he was a brilliant lawyer and practiced law until he was in the late 90s. He died 96. Uh, and he was my best friend, and I was like 60 some odd year, 70 some odd year younger to him. Yet he was my best friend. So and I've met many CEOs in this country and many other very, very high-ranking people who've been brilliant and they work hard. You know, a lot of people say, "Oh, white people are lazy," this and that. They have no idea the people that are there sitting on the top positions who are so brilliant, so hardworking, so good people. You work hard, people don't mind paying you what you deserve, how quickly you ask them. I have clients who would pay me if I call them tomorrow morning, please help me get this invoice paid, and they will pay because they respect good hard work. And this is what IIT has brought into us. And I honestly, I couldn't pay enough compliments to being an IITian. IT has been just the biggest blessing in my life in itself.
Good to know. Good to know. Uh, if you are okay, tell us about the hardest or the most impactful decision you have had to make as a CEO. What was the situation basically for that?
So you know that we're in the oil and gas industry. Majority of our business, even though we've done, as you said, for Air Force and NASA and U.S. Navy, we've done a number of bridges in the country in U.S. But most of our business is oil and gas, and oil and gas industry, unluckily, have had multiple ups and downs in my lifetime. I've been through 5, 6 of them. Some of them have been like we are going through right now, been very extreme, where it touches your sanity. Should you even be in business? And at that times, trying to part company with people that you kept on, and then financially you get into that situation that you don't have a daddy who's going to give you money, so you are living within your own means, uh, and it becomes very, very difficult to let people go who you brought in, who are every day helping you be successful, and then you have to let go. That has been my most difficult times. Uh, Otherwise, yes, you lose a job, you lose a project that you're really working hard, you believe you're going to win. Uh, but those are, to me, they're very minor things compared to having to let somebody go or somebody leaves you whom you respect and love very much uh, is been my challenge, if you will.
Yeah. Okay. No. Yeah, I agree with you. It's very hard to part the right people, the right resources because of financial constraints, and you have to go over that because it's like a industry, and it's a sine curve. It goes and up, so you have to ride the curve.
Well,
Um,
look at what we're going through right now
yeah,
in
right
our
now.
industry.
Yeah,
all,
nobody.
all my clients are one by one filing bankruptcies, and it's a very, very tough. For me, monetarily, it'd be very easy to just let go of a bunch of people in the company, but I'm hoping trying to change directions to see if we can continue being relatively successful.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's a great. So all the very best for that. Uh, Tell me, Ramesh, how important is mentorship and coaching in one's career in such a high stress role like that of a CEO? So, in what ways have mentors, coaches influenced your career trajectory?
So I don't think anybody can ever stop learning. Okay, I don't care how smart anybody is. This Bill Gates has some series on Netflix, three episodes. Even if you watch that thing, you would see that he reads every week a bag full of books, uh, and he does research even today, and he's a brilliant man. On top of that, so mentoring and coaching, especially for CEOs, I think is very important because there are a lot of issues that you can't even discuss with your wife, you can't discuss with anybody even in your company. So some 5, 6 years ago, almost 5.5 years ago, I joined a group called Vistage. It is a group of CEOs. There are over 20,000 CEOs around the world are members of this group. but there are smaller chapters in every town. Even in Houston, there might be 25, 30. But I'm one of the one group I'm member of. We have about 15 now. Mostly there were 12, 13. And these are like your board of directors. They, any problem that you have, we're all in different businesses. Nobody in the same business. Nobody's in the same business as I am in. So you don't have to worry about passing information from your business to anybody. We discuss financials. We discuss personal problems. We discuss business problems, whether it is employee related problem, HR problem, legal problems, financial problems, and the group invites some of the brilliant speakers who talk about different topics. As a CEO, as much as we as engineers get involved in engineering most of the time, and I do a lot, but as a CEO, you have an overall responsibility of everything: personnel, money, illegal problems, business conditions, all of that. But this group offers that. They don't mince words in telling you if you're wrong whenever you talk about your problems. And that mentorship, I promise you, and our chairperson meets us once a month one-on-one, where he'll discuss with you your personally things that are going right or wrong. And then he is also been in business and advises you his ways. And all the members are ready to help you anytime. But they will never worry about telling you in your face bluntly how wrong you are in a certain decision that if you discuss with them. So, even your own board, some in the companies, sometimes they don't tell you the truth because they are concerned about, you might not take it right. But this board, they don't really care because the agenda of everybody is to make the other person stronger businessman. And to me, that has been, I wished at one time many years ago that I wish I could talk to some people who are way smarter than I am and are in business. And then one day I got lucky to have received an email from this group and I joined them. I wish I joined them 30 years ago. I probably would have been a better businessman than I am. But that is the kind of mentorship and or coaching that I'm going through. Every month I meet these people. It's somewhat expensive, but for a business, it's really nothing. Its value is phenomenal. If you're a CEO or you want to be a CEO or you're wanting to start a business, you want to be part of a group like that. There are a couple of others, but the one that I'm in, I feel they are very, very good.
Excellent. Nice, good to know that. So, Ramesh, as you mentioned that you were a singing star in the school when you were growing up in
Not a
Ludhiana.
star, no, not a star, no.
So, and I believe you might have participated in the singing events. And of course, I heard from some people that you were a racer. You were participating in the competitive races at IIT Bombay. You carried the banner for IIT Bombay and was a university captain. So let me ask you, first of all, are you still running?
I do. In fact, I don't do it every day, but like a couple of days ago, I ran 2 miles nonstop in the morning. My goal this year was to go back to be able to run 2 miles nonstop, and I've done it now a number of times this year. So I'm doing that. You know how old I am, but I enjoy it. My body allows me. I'm in very good shape. God's help. So I enjoy it thoroughly. Singing wise, my voice is now at this age is going down, but I can cry any given moment listening to a good song. India has this Saregamapa program. I listen to it every time, and these kids make me cry every time I listen to them. Beautiful music. I sang many years in my life, but it was not more for anything but for pleasure. Although when I was coming to IIT Bombay, first time ever, uh, it was my dream because in school I was singing, and I thought I'll go to Bombay, and I will look for it. And but I spend more time studying than worrying about music. Although I did sing in the university, uh, not competitively, but on the stage many times. Uh, So it was fun. It was more of fun. Tried to become a music secretary in elections. Did lose that election, but ran for it. So just yeah, those been some fun days for me.
That's fantastic. So, you know, one thing, let me tell you, the PanIIT USA, we have a chit chat sessions where we talk non-professional things, nothing to do with your profession, but singing, art, classic music. So maybe one of the session would like to invite you where you can tell the audience,
Man, I'm too old for all that.
no, at least you can tell them what songs you used to sing, and you could be a judge in one of the singing competitions we host. So we like you to be on the judge, sitting there and observing people what they're doing.
You listen to these guys, the judges on Saregama. I wonder what do they know then when they criticize some child? And I listen to the child, I think he's about the most brilliant singer that I've ever heard. So I'm really not a good judge of good music, but I enjoy good music. I can literally cry listening to good music.
Any one song, if you can tell, which you like the most and you feel like hearing maybe 10 times a day?
I swear to you, there isn't one or two songs. There are many songs that I could, and besides, I'm not very good at remembering things. Like Sandy, our CEO, was a brilliant man. He can think and remember anything and everything about a joke, a one-liner, or music. But I watch a movie 2 minutes later, and you can ask me what it was about. I don't remember anything. I have a somehow wash off in my head. But music in general, a good sung music is very, very touching to my heart. Uh, I think if there is anything I love the most is Indian music, not even Western music. Indian music brings the best out of me. In my heart, I feel the best.
Great, excellent. Uh, so, do you have any words of advice for the current IIT students?
So, we've all heard the words hard work pays. Um, I do believe hard work pays. Of course, IIT, if I can say that without doubt, that IIT does bring us all to work hard. But honesty with your family, honest with your colleagues, your friends, if you're in business with your employees, and most of all with your clients, uh, irrespective of the consequences, is very important. Hard work, honesty, a very high quality, believe in high quality work is very important. Never compromise quality for anybody. Because we are professionals, we have work ethics to produce high quality work. It doesn't matter what the consequences are because we are very smart and nobody should ever worry about a job, even if you lose a job because you're honest about what happened. I have made mistakes and I have stood in front of my clients. In fact, in my company, my motto is I'm the only one in my company who makes mistakes. I will stand in front of a client and tell him for anything that goes wrong in my company that I am the guilty party because I don't care about the consequences, whether they work with me again or not, they don't pay my bills or not. I don't really worry about that. But most of the time, I have seen it pays off. Clients respect you. At least in this part of the world, people respect you for being honest, even when something goes wrong in whatever you've done. We've solved some of the problem even a year or two after we've done a project when we found out something went wrong, unknowingly went wrong. We have gone back to the client and they respected us for that. And they've been our very, very good customers. So honesty is very, very important in all aspects. Never shy away. But at the same time, what we've been brought up, failure is not an option for any one of us. So don't give up. Just keep pitching, keep working hard at it, and success is theirs. For us IITians, I think sky is the limit. It is only your limit to where you want to be. I mean, when you see in this country, I am so proud of the Indians who are doing so well, and there are so many of them of us that I think I recently read somebody sent me a thing that who's going to rule the world in the future? And I said, Indians are going to rule the world. Look at everywhere right now. You've got Indians have got the name and fame because we're very smart. And we are very good in many ways. I just wish we would all get together so much that we believe in each other. So believe in each other. And honestly, I think just believing in yourself and working at it is what I would tell any IITian or anybody else for that matter. My own grandkids, I tell them the only thing. Just believe in yourself, work hard at it. Sky is the limit. And this
Yeah,
country is the example of all of that.
yeah, yeah. Rightly said, we are trying on a PanIIT USA platform to get all the IITians together. And we have a database of around 40 to 45,000 IITians in the US. And that's one thing which we are working on, how to get people involved, how to get people on the single platform, as you rightly said, because we have the best brains, we have the best talents here. The only thing is how to get them at the one place where we all can discuss and do some brainstorming for the world to make it more a better place to live. And I
I
like
think
your
the only thing, if I may interrupt you, is that we just need to talk more. Believe in each other. Don't just believe in yourself. Believe in yourself for sure, but believe in each other. We need to respect others. When I said I'm very proud of the Indians, is because I'm honestly very, very proud of all these people who have brought us all a great name. We are Indians are respected because of the hard work and good, honest approach that a lot of Indians have taken. But let's believe in each other. Let's make each one of us stronger. Uh, you know, you're gonna ask me some more questions, but I promised you my whole wish is that if I can help anybody to become better at whatever they're doing, I am no God, I am not special in anything, but if I can help anybody, if they write to me and I know the answer, I will. And if somehow I don't answer, they keep on insisting on talking to me. I don't have any mind that I won't answer. I tell my employees all the time, if you don't hear from me, just bug the crap out of me that I answer your question. I don't have any pride in that you are approaching me because I have the title. I am just another employee, another man in the industry. But we all need to believe in each other. We Indians need to believe that we're all good people. We're all striving for good. We don't want to be one-man teams. Unluckily, a lot of times I find we are one-man teams. We're bright, but we're one-man teams. That's not the way to win. The way to win is for all of us. You said 45,000 IITians. They all need to believe in each other, and let's make us all strong.
yeah. This message will go out to all the people who are watching this webinar. But no, that's rightly said, and thank you very much. So last but not the least, is there anything else you would like to share, or should we have asked?
Well, I have just a minor little thing to say to everybody. You know, a lot of time we go in the parties that we all Indian get together, and we talk about Donald Trump or Joe Biden or whoever else is that time running, and we waste so much of unnecessary time in all this crap that to me honestly doesn't bring anything best in all of us. Yet we are arguing with each other. Uh, you know, whoever is going to get elected is going to get elected. You can elect whoever you want. But there is so much more we can do together as think tanks. You think about the beautiful things that people whose brains are some brilliant, all these people who get together are brilliant people. Get together and think about things that you can do for your group, for others, Indians, or for other people in this country. Because we're blessed, this country, especially in US, we've been given so much by the country we can do more things. We need to get together and become think tanks to do better things. You all doing this PanIIT, which is brilliant. That's how we all need to spend our time thinking about greater things. You know, we can put our heads together and come up with the most brilliant ideas of moving things around. And we waste, I go to parties, I get so disenchanted sitting there listening to all the crap that everybody's just talking about. Who is better? Who's going to be a great leader? It doesn't do anything for us. Now, you want to be in politics? maybe that's a good idea. Take that stand and fight for your rights. But fighting 2 hours, 3 hours of just discussing Donald Trump or Joe Biden or Hillary Clinton or whoever is going to be in the power, it don't make any one of us any smarter.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the only thing I request, that you would talk about it and we would give up. But we need to love each other more than anything else. Respect each other. Our children are brilliant kids that are coming out in the world that Indian families are bringing out. I mean, it's unbelievable how brilliant we all are. And when somebody does something wrong, it is not that one person does something wrong. We all do wrong. They don't label he is the guy. He says all Indians are that way. And when all the Indians who are doing well, they look at us all saying these Indians are going to take over. And we should, because we're good people. At heart, we're very good people.
Yeah. No, that's good to hear, and that's fantastic. And by the way, we are PanIIT USA is planning our global virtual conference on the 4th of December this year. And we are trying to approach people from every country and every sort of continent and trying to get them engaged, so that because of this virtual conferences, we have the reach, and we're expecting a lot of people will participate in this conference. So it's happening on the 4th of December last year, and definitely you have the information of that. So finally, on behalf of PanIIT USA, I would like to thank Ramesh for his time, and also all the PanIIT USA volunteers engaged with different initiatives. And special thanks to Arun Jain, and Vice President PanIIT USA, who's the technologist for these online webinar, and his team, who has to work very hard to make this thing possible. In his team, Ashish Kakran, he is managing this specific webinar. Thank you, Ashish, for doing the great job. And Ramesh, once again, it was a pleasure to have you with us today, and hope you will return to visit with us again in the future.
Just make sure when the PanIIT thing starts, please have Sandy come out with some one-liners to where you bring everybody together. We need to have some one-liners to just bring all of us together. We all need to be very proud of each other. My whole goal is just that.
Excellent. No, thank you. I'll pass on the message. So thank you very much, Ramesh. Thank you.
Pleasure. It's been my pleasure. Thank you
Have a good day.
so much for it.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.